This lot cost much less than just 2 products from Louis Vuitton. I've got Prada, I've got Yves Saint Laurent. You'll remember I bought a palette from Prada, but they gave me a tester, so I took it back and I actually got this. Now this is a different colour to the one that I got. I actually originally got Poetry, and this is called Profusion. Now Poetry I quite liked because of the green colour, but when I took it back I decided that because I'd watched a lovely friend called Sarah B, her channel's called Revamp and Radiate, I'll leave a link below. I saw her using this and it was such a beautiful look that when I took back the tester that they gave me for the Poetry, I picked up this one instead, and they are beautiful colours. I'm not very good at swatching, but these are the swatches and they are absolutely stunning and very pigmented. So because I'm determined to get a full face of luxury makeup without cheating or using anything else, and definitely not spending as much as it would cost me if I went anywhere near a Louis Vuitton store. This is the Prada foundation. It's the Reveal foundation. I can't actually see the colour. I'll list it down below with the rest of the products when I have a look. So I put my skin prep on, I put my eyebrows on, which was just a tiny bit of Brow Cheat from Charlotte Tilbury, and some my latest favourite, which is the Super Lock Brow Gel from Maybelline. Now I do have a high-end concealer, but it's not Prada and it's not Yves Saint Laurent, so I'm actually not going to use it at all. I'm not going to use any concealer and hope that I can get away with it. I'm using mostly Sigma brushes, and I have ordered another Sigma palette because I loved the last one that I got. I'm so late to the party with the Sigma song, but I've ordered another palette and I think I get some free brushes with it. What I normally do is I layer blusher and bronzer in various different colours, but I'm actually challenging myself to just use these and I don't know how I'm going to get on. This is All Our Bronzer in 03 and Yves Saint Laurent, I'm sure you know, but still trying to get used to it. So here we go. Trying not to overdo it from the get-go because, as we know, easier to put a layer on than to take anything away. And I do love this bronzer because it's so blurring. So I put it where my bronzer normally would go, but then I diffuse it out by putting a light layer on the rest of my face because it blurs so well. I went into Louis Vuitton on Bond Street in the middle of Mayfair in London, and there was nobody at the counter. Well, first of all I had to ask where the makeup was, and they pointed me over in a corner somewhere, and I got there and everything's all laid out, and there's lipsticks and eyeshadows and every single shade is laid out, and there's quite a lot of them, as we all know. So I waited for a while and looked around and thought, is anybody going to come and help me? And then I picked a lipstick up because I wanted to try and find a nude, because I always wear red, as you probably know. So I thought, well, if anybody can come up with a nude that is going to work on me, it'll be Pat McGrath and Louis Vuitton. And although I'm determined not to buy anything from that range, I thought if they can provide me with a nude that actually doesn't make me look dead, I might. Anyway, so I stood there and I just about reached for a lipstick and some security guard came and said, you can't touch anything. And I said, oh right, okay, well is there anybody here that can actually help me? And he said, oh, you have to go and put your name down to register at the door for somebody to come and help you. So I wander over to the door and there's a lady with a clipboard who looks very French, I suppose. black skirt, white shirt, hair pulled back, you know, chic, française. And so I say to her, I'd like to try some of the makeup. She said, oh yes, she said, what's your name? So I told her my name. And then I went back and I stood there for 10 minutes and nobody came. And I couldn't help myself. And I wandered around as much as I could, and then I went to look at some handbags, and then I came back, and then I wandered around again. And I thought, you know what? I'm leaving. So I did. I left. You know, the price of these things, you sort of expect them to jump off the shelves and onto your lips or eyes without any effort from you whatsoever. But I couldn't even get a man to serve me, or a lady. The Make Me blush in 03. I'm attempting to use just one powder as opposed to my usual cocktail for my cheeks. Now the star of this particular show is this wonderful palette, which I'm hoping that I haven't overstretched myself by buying something that I literally can't handle. I'm going to add the, what shall I do? I'm going to add some of the middle grey to, my crease. It's quite pigmented and I slightly have overdone that, but oh my goodness, it's so nice. So that's going into my crease. I am going to have to break my Sigma only rule and just use this brush to blend it out. Gosh, it's so nice. I can't stop wearing it. Thank you, Sarah B, for unknowingly making me buy this. Isn't that lovely? And I'm going to add the yellow onto my lid. Am I? Take a tiny bit at a time because I am actually quite scared. So I am just going to lightly add this to my lids and hope it doesn't make me look like I'm ill. Does it? Here we go, we're about to find out, aren't we? I'm just going to put it on the lids, and then the silver shimmer, which is that one, I'm going to put on the inner corner. But I'm just going to see if I can merge these a little bit. I'm actually going to dip into this black and put with my tiniest brush that I have, and I'm just going to roll it and just see. I'm just placing it for now where I want it. So it's going to look a bit odd before it looks a bit better, but bear with. The texture of these is amazing, they're so soft. Right, let's do a little bit of blending. You could actually just wear the grey or just wear the yellow. The coverage is amazing, and I didn't even use any concealer on my eyelids, and I didn't powder them either. Look at that for a result, isn't that amazing? I'm going to try and add some of the grey to my lower lashes, which I don't tend to do in the summer, but because we're coming to winter. The other thing when I was in Louis Vuitton was there was literally no one there. No one at the makeup counter. I mean, hardly any people in the store. And if they were there, they were buying handbags or purses. Yeah, the makeup counter looked quite lonely, actually. Now I'm going to use the finest line with this black shadow. Again, I'm not going to allow myself to use any of my pencils that I like. These 6 products are definitely in any country cost less than one Louis Vuitton lipstick and one eyeshadow palette. Right, I've lost my yellow, so here we go. Bear with again. Bringing the yellow back a little bit. With eyes like these, I can't wear my normal red lip, so I'm going to try for a nude. And again, every nude I've got, it just makes me grey, makes me washed out. But I am going to give it a go for the sake of this video. Right, I'm just going to use some of this silver just in the inner corner. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Just blend it up here. I wonder if I should actually add a little bit of the yellow on my low. This is like so way out of my comfort zone, you cannot imagine. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on my lower lash line in the middle. And why not? You see it? Right, Lash Clash, Yves Saint Laurent. So, Lash Clash is on. This is quite good. 2 coats I put on. And also, I have broken my rule about using just Prada or Yves Saint Laurent. Huda Beauty liquid lip liner, which I complained profusely about. However, I've had it like this for 3 weeks, and it surprised me by actually behaving. The reason that I need it is because I am going to use a very different colour to what I normally wear. This is my go-to colour, which is way too much for this eye look, and I am going to try and see if I can actually make a nude lip work. Here you go. And that's it. All Prada and Yves Saint Laurent. I didn't use any concealer because the foundation, a light layer of foundation going all the way up to your lower lids, actually works just as well. What I do miss is a little bit of highlighter. However, what I'm going to do is take some of the silver from the eyeshadow palette. I'm a genius. So cool. Maybe pat this in my lid a bit. I think this eyeshadow palette is really rather beautiful. I can't remember who I was watching, but somebody said that these 2 tiny little brushes that come with it are actually quite useful. And maybe one day, but definitely not today. But yeah, brilliant, brilliant eyeshadow palette. I don't want to spend that much money, but I would buy another one in a different colourway, actually. But honestly, they're £67, which I think is like $75. I don't want to buy another one when I've got... I mean, obviously everyone can spend whatever they want to spend on any makeup that they want to spend it on. This is not a diss for anybody, but for me, I like to save on certain things so that I can splurge and buy things that I really, really, really like. So these 6 products came to about £250, and the Louis Vuitton palette on its own is £190, and the lipstick is £160, I think. So, you know, for those who really do want to indulge and are quite happy to indulge and can indulge, they can buy whatever they want. But I think you get a bit more bang for your buck shopping around a little bit, and you certainly don't need to spend all that much money. I hope you've enjoyed this. I get my Sigma palette sometime next week, so look out for my Sigma unboxing, and also I'm going to try a look with the eyeshadow too. Please do like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment below, and I hopefully will see you soon.